Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice with Strife. I am of course William Strife and this is Long Live the Queen. Wow. Okay, so this is not a game that I was, really particularly expecting to play on my channel, but this is a fan request. And I know how some of you may be thinking, oh god, what is this? Yeah, but cutesy anime girl stuff. I mean, this is no new realm for me. I was super into anime whenever I was in high school. Not the case so much anymore, but it doesn't mean that I'm, a stranger to all this type of stuff. So, while it has, an anime art style, it is quite a good game. I sat down and played it for the first time yesterday. Got a full 81 minutes in before I was killed by chocolate. And that's not a name, I quite literally mean a box of chocolates killed me. For those of you who have played this game before, you'll know what that means. If you don't, there's a good chance we'll find out. But, let's start a new game, and you can get the story and any gaps that are there, I'll fill in. We're almost home, your room is just the way you left it. I know it's hard to leave your school and all your friends, but I've arranged the best possible tutors for every subject. You'll have to work hard this year to prepare yourself for your 15th birthday, but I know you can do it. You'll learn quick, and you'll make a wonderful queen. It's what your mother would have wanted. This is not what mother would have wanted. She wouldn't have wanted to die and leave me. No, she wouldn't, but sometimes bad things happen. We have to pick up and carry on. All of Nova depends on us, on you. I'll be here to guide you until your coronation, but the decisions you make are ultimately up to you. Come, your maids are waiting. Hooah. Okay. Okay, so I've played this before. I don't need to see the introduction, but okay, so this is you. You're a 14-year-old girl, who's awaiting, her coronation to become queen after her mother passed away. So there's a lot going on in this game. Specifically, if I open up the skills menu, you can see these are all the character stats that you have, and as you can see, there are these little negative numbers above royal demeanor and conversation. These are augmentation stats, as in whenever you go to classes during the week, you can level up these skills, but if there's a negative effect on it, you gain less experience, and you level the skill up slower. As where expression right here, this has a positive modifier, so this will level up faster. So you pretty much always want to, you always want to put your money on leveling things up with a positive modifier and never bother with things with a negative modifier. Naturally that compounds upon itself whenever you get further into the game and all of your skills are leveled up already, and all you have left are things that have negative effects on them. But, the point is, you've got all of these stats, you need to level them up, and basically the world is out to kill you. There are a million things that can, kill a young princess awaiting coronation. You basically have to level up your skills to try to avoid dying. And the way that you can die is by, an uprising or a coup, or it's also possible to die from simple freak accidents, or, just making really, really bad decisions of your own about how to handle a situation. You can slip and fall, you can drown, there are all sorts of things that can happen. So what I need to do right now is I need to choose classes for the week, okay? So these are the classes. There are morning classes and there are evening classes, but in order to choose those, I need to figure out what skills are best to level up right now. And right now, expression and animal handling are the ones with positive modifiers on them. So I'm going to go ahead and do voice, expression, voice, and I'm going to do animal handling, dogs. Okay, so I'm going to come over to classes, expression, and then we'll come over here. These are the classes. As you can see, I click here, and the 3 potential classes that I can take changes. So expression, voice, and I'm going to do animal handling, dogs. And then I just come down to this button right here and hit done. And week 1 morning, you practice deep breathing exercises to build up your ability to sustain a note. And in the afternoon, you visit the kennels and learn about different breeds of dogs. Okay, so after the week is over, then you get some sort of an event that advances the story. And these events, they randomize to a certain extent. What is all that noise outside? Who's here? Oh, it's my cousins and my aunt and uncle. Darling, we feel so terribly to hear about your mother Fidela. Thank you. You look well. Hi, Lodi. Ooh, it's her cousin. Hi, Lottie. I haven't seen you in ages. Will you be staying long? Yep, Mummy said we'd be here all month. Maybe we'll have some time to talk later. Okay, so now that I've finished studying, how do I want to spend the weekend? Now this is where you try to augment your mood. As you can see, this is the mood that Elodie, I think her name is in. She can sway between these two: pressured and lonely, willful and yielding, cheerful and depressed, angry and afraid. So basically, I think that it's very optimal to try to keep the stats at or as close to the middle bar as possible, and all of these actions around the castle can they have some sort of an effect. Some of the actions don't have an effect though. So and what's more is that you can see there are these other little plots and boxes around the castle. These things represent all sorts of activities that you can perform that you can only do once you level up a skill. For instance, this down here is the barracks, and only once you level up some of your military skills are you able to visit the barracks on the weekend. But we are... she is feeling particularly afraid and depressed right now, so in order to balance that out, I'm going to attend services to reduce her depression. Okay, so -1 depressed. You attend the service in the castle grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. Okay, so if I check the mood, she's feeling a little bit less depressed, but now we need to check her skills again. And as we can see, expression has gone down. It's no longer giving a +1 modifier. It's only getting a 0.15 modifier. As where agility is now getting a +1 modifier, and faith is getting a +1 modifier. Now, this may have happened because I reduced my depression. I may indeed need to increase depression to get expression and animal handling to have higher bonuses. I don't know if that's true. I've only played the game once. So, what I'm going to do this time around is I'm going to study physical agility, or I'm going to study agility, dance, and I'm going to study faith, divination. Okay, so we'll come in here: agility, dance, faith, divination. Okay, so, and also you get these tooltips here: dance, knowing the steps and carrying them out with grace. So naturally this, teaches you how to do dancing. Pretty important given that you're a princess and, you can end up going to balls and whatnot, which does happen sooner or later. And then here, divination under faith, interpreting signs from nature of what future might hold. So divination is one of those things where you can more effectively identify omens and sort of, ominous events in the world that foretell the future. So with those selected, I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Week 2, morning, you practice curtsying, standing and walking across the floor in a graceful manner. Afternoon, you learn that the gods cannot be forced to divulge information about the future, and that the most powerful omens are those which arrive unexpectedly. So that's a big factor, okay? As you go through the game, there will be all sorts of skill checks, and you'll get text that kind of bubbles up through the screen, kind of like whenever you saw I attended the ceremony at the end of the week to decrease depression. That showed a little, -1 depression. You'll also get things scrolling up across the screen in the same manner for skill checks. So it'll give you a skill on the left, and it'll give you a pass or fail on the right with an arrow in the middle. And if your skill is high enough, you'll automatically pass. If your skill is low enough, you'll automatically fail. So this is kind of like an active passive system by which you have control over the game. You can actively improve your character, but you cannot, but for the most part, you are entirely passive whenever the events come to pass. It's a question of whether or not you have if you've properly prepared for the events that can happen. So, what's that commotion outside, Father? What's going on? I have come to pay my respects in honor of your mother. You have no respect or honor. It's because of you and your powers that my wife is dead. What? I am a Lumen, as she was, and like every Lumen, I am willing to give my life if necessary to protect our domain. Your line has been traitors for 200 years. I won't have you corrupting my daughter. That is for the crown princess to decide. Elodie, your mother trusted me, and I have much to teach you. Okay, so this is your aunt, And quite simply put, she practices magic. That's really what it comes down to. So I have a choice. I can send her away, I can arrest her, or let her stay. Obviously, the Elodie's father not interested in letting her stick around because the queen, she practiced magic, and you know, suffice to say, that is evidently what got her killed. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the aunt stay because it's not like I have to consult with her, but I might very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her stay. I want to hear what she has to say. She stays. Okay, so I got +1 willful off of that, as you wish. And now I get to choose how to spend the weekend. I can do some stuff to try to improve my my anger, I guess. Let's visit the Duchess, because she just showed up. What is it you wanted to teach me? First, I need to know if you have your mother's crystal. What crystal? The source of power for any Illumin is a particular magical crystal. Once you've bonded with it, it becomes a part of you as long as you live. The royal crystal has been passed down from ruler to ruler for generations. It belongs to you now, except the king may be keeping it from you. Do you have a crystal? Of course. She holds out her hands, light flickering above her bosom, and then, with a shower of sparkles, something takes shape. You reach out to touch it, and it dissolves into nothing. Oh. It belongs to me, no one can take it from me until I die. You need to find the crystal that belongs to you. Okay, so there's another task. I don't have to pursue it if I don't want to, but, you know, it's an option. So, skills. Let's see what sort of positive or negative modifiers we are dealing with today. We have agility and we have faith. So these are gaining, you know, 1.5 to each. So if I level these things up too much, if I level up divination to 50, then I can't level up divination anymore until meditation and lore get to 25. And that's the same thing across the board in all skills. If you level one skill up too far above the others, it maxes out and you can't level it up until you level up the two other skills in the set. So I'm going to, in order to combat that, study in reflexes. Yeah, reflexes and lore. That'll do good. Reflexes and lore. Okay, so reflexes, the ability to respond quickly to surprise, which is important because there are a lot of things that can catch you off guard in this game, and lore, the magical history of Nova. So, and Nova being the kingdom. Week 3, morning. Your teacher walks around you, prodding a finger at you slowly in order to train you in blocking those touches without triggering fear or faster breathing. Okay, that seems a little bit strange. So that, the bonus, I'm getting a bonus from being afraid while doing these. Afternoon, only a Lumen can channel magic, and only with the help of an attuned crystal. The ability to control a crystal seems to be inherited, so crystals can be passed from parent to child upon the Lumen's death. So, you know, there's a little bit of backstory on the whole process of, you know, your mother's crystal. Charlotte, this is your cousin. He loves me not. Lottie, do you have a boyfriend? Not really, I just like to play with the flowers. All of a sudden, the Duchess of Ursel rushes into the garden and points a sword at you. Not at you, at your feet. Princess, don't move. Okay, so I have a choice here. I can hold still or I can look down. This is one of the few situations where you have direct control over something, but again, some sort of a skill check is probably going to happen, which means that, you know, what you try to do is a moot point. So I'm going to try to hold still. See, test composure failed. You want to hold still, but you don't have the composure to hold your position without peeking. You look down where her sword is pointing. There's a snake in the grass. You can't... +1 afraid. You can't help it. You squeak and jump back. The snake tenses and prepares to strike. No! Your cousin pushes you aside and the snake's fangs sink into her leg. Lottie. Too late, Juliana swings her sword and cuts the snake's head. What's going on out here? Your daughter's been bitten by a milk viper. They're poisonous. Get the herbalist right away. I will treat my daughter. I certainly can't trust anyone here to keep her safe. I'm sorry. I don't feel good. We will be returning home to Merva immediately. Your aunt has a point. Milk vipers are not native to this area. That snake should never have been here. Someone may have tried to kill you. Will Charlotte be okay? I don't know. Okay, so, there's a challenge that happens, you know, triggers off right early in the game. So, how do I want to spend the weekend? Let's go ahead and talk to our father. Dad, what happened to Mom's lumen crystal? It's in a safe place. Can I have it? No. But it's mine. Meddling with magic killed your mother. I don't want that to happen to you. Once you're crowned queen, I can't stop you from doing anything you want. But for now, you are still a child. Okay, so, you know, father not exactly getting along with the princess. So, what do we want to do next? Now, it's very, very tempting to continue to roll on these modifiers over and over and over, which I think that I'm going to stick with for a while because these are so useful. But there are other skills that I know I'm going to need to level up. I want to level up military and knowledge of, you know, external affairs and whatnot. And also I really need to level up medicine because I've seen a couple of people play this game before, and from my own experience, yeah, the first time that I played, medicine, understanding herbs, battlefield, and poison, they're very, very important to being able to survive all sorts of potential accidents that you can go through. So I'm going to go ahead and level up flexibility and meditation to just for right now. Week 4, morning, you learn to relax and evaluate the tension in your body, then practice the different types of motion available to each joints, twisting, shifting, and rotating. Okay, so controlling tension. Afternoon, you practice assuming a sitting position that allows you to be relaxed and tranquil without being so relaxed that you are likely to fall asleep. Okay, so there's that. Now on to another event. The castle seems quieter with Charlotte and Emery and Zara and their parents gone. It's certainly not empty though. It seems like we get more servants every day. I was so worried about Charlotte after that snake bit her. Okay, so look, we test poison failed, but her mother said she's okay, so I guess it turned out all right. Okay, so that right there says that your cousin probably died from that snake bite instead of you. So, maybe she has a guardian angel. Naive is the best way to describe Ellie here. So, we'll visit the dungeon. Okay, affected by willfulness and +1 angry. You sneak a peek at some of the luckless peasants held in the dungeons, petty thieves and troublemakers, now suffering in the dark. They're obviously bad people, but seeing them so miserable still feels unfair. There must be a better way. Alright, so our mood has improved quite a bit here, and we'll go ahead and check skills, and we're no longer getting those major modifiers to faith and agility. Instead, we're getting modifiers to intrigue and military. And Lumen is getting a modifier as well, but we haven't unlocked that skill yet. We have to get the crystal, or at least that's what I'm imagining the case is. We probably want to put some time into intrigue and military, so we'll put some time into internal affairs and Lumen. I think that internal affairs is a pretty good one because, you know, knowing what's going on inside of the country is probably the most important thing that any ruler could, you know, understand. Knowing what's going on inside the country, top priority. Knowing what's going on outside the country, second priority. So, you know, but they go hand in hand, knowing what's going on inside and outside the country. So, internal affairs and strategy. Morning. Week 5, morning. Until you have children of your own, your maternal uncle, the Duke of Minerva, is next in line for the crown, and after him would be his daughter, your cousin Charlotte. Oh, what do you know? Well, Charlotte doesn't really have a claim to the throne anymore. She's dead. Even though poor Ellie over here hasn't noticed. Week 5 afternoon, you study the strengths and weaknesses of different weapons in battle formations. Okay, cool. So, one of the maids approaches for your attention. My lady, couriers have arrived from the Duke of Senda. We have a Duke of Senda? Foreign intelligence failed, foreign affairs failed. No, my lady, the Duchy of Senda is in Tallahassee. They have brought you a letter and a gift. Condolences on the death of, deeply regret, best wishes. Oh, what a beautiful necklace. Court manners failed, +1 cheerful. Something sparkly will make me feel better. Okay, so there is deeper meaning to that necklace, but you know, it's completely gone over her head because she hasn't practiced in court manners. Let's try to increase pressured and willful, because I think that that'll have a different effect on my skills. That's something that I'm only coming to realize now as I'm playing the game. I didn't realize that the first time that I was going through. I kept on getting angry and willful super, super high, and I got these major modifiers to military and like weapons training. So I was like, well, that's interesting. and I didn't understand why that was happening. So, okay, well, attend court. Let's attend court and see what that does to us. 2 yielding, 1 depressed, and 1 pressured. Sitting in on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father and it may be important to your future. Okay, so we got a little bit of a modifier there. Let's check skills again. What are things looking like? Okay, so now we're getting negative modifiers to military and intrigue because of what we did at court. So now, agility and faith are getting these massive boosts again. So I'm going to study in divination and reflexes again. Okay, week 6 morning, you practice solo tennis, hitting balls against a wall repeatedly in order to train your hand and eye to react. Okay, you may now play sports on the weekends. So there we go. Even though it's medieval England, we can play tennis with, you know, a manufactured racket and bouncing ball. What do you know? Okay, so afternoon, you read about well-known signs of bad fortune: wells turning sour, dry lightning, strange fish caught in nets, malformed babies being born, and so on. Now for another event. As you're walking, you spot a familiar figure in the palace gardens. It's the Duchess of Ursul. Maybe I should go and say hello. Then you notice that seated beside her is a woman in the robes of a priestess. They are very close together, their hands gently touching as they speak. Looks like she's busy. You turn and walk in a different direction so as not to disturb them. At that moment, you notice something unusual. It looks like someone just left the palace grounds by going over the hedge. Was that a servant, a thief, or an assassin? Okay, so there are smart things and there are bad things to do in this type of a situation. I think that it wouldn't be a good idea to climb over the hedge and look, but I called the guards last time and I don't think that running and hiding is really going to help. So I'm going to do exactly what I think I shouldn't do, just because I think it's going to be fun, and I'm going to climb over the hedge. Test climbing failed. You look around for something to climb, but you're not sure if the nearby tree can support your weight. You run over to a statue and try to pull yourself up on the pedestal, but it's too awkward to get your feet in place. By this time, whoever you saw is probably gone anyway. Okay, so instead of something really drastic happening, it just turns out that you're bad at climbing and you don't get to see what happens. So, let's figure out what to do over the weekend. Let's just attend court again. Sitting in court is not fun, blah blah blah. Okay, so our mood has changed significantly again. Let's see what type of modifiers we're getting. Faith is no longer getting a massive boost. Neither is physical, but we are getting a pretty big boost to animal handling and expression. So let's go ahead and put some time in on dogs again, and let's do decoration. Or no, let's do instrument. Week 7 morning, you tap out chiming dyads on a glockenspiel, learning the basics of harmony and rhythm. Week 7 afternoon, you learn the standard commands for working with trained hunting dogs and retrievers. Okay, that's nice. So, as you walk up the stairs, a maid comes running down holding a towering pile of linen. Elegance failed, reflexes success. You swiftly step aside and let her pass. Okay, so there we go. We've actually passed one of our first skill checks. Well, one of the first times that we're passing a skill check. So we're going to go ahead and attend court again. Just keep on compounding our mood. Sitting in court is really boring, like always. And our mood is starting to get closer to being, you know, of an extreme nature. And skills, we are now getting 1.3 to animal handling and expression. So we'll go ahead and just, you know, double down on that stuff again. This time we'll do horses for animal handling. Week 8, morning, you discuss the nature of beauty, looking around at landscapes, objects, and people, comparing their aesthetic elements. And then in the afternoon, you walk around the stables, meeting the royal horses, learning about their breeds and the names of different parts of their anatomy. Okay. Okay, the king, there is a man here to see you. He wishes to crown funding on a project of his. Remember, the treasury is not unlimited. If you choose to invest, you will have less money to work with later. Your Royal Highness, I have a plan to print books using metal letters which can be moved and reused. I need to borrow 875 lacis to assemble the metal and factory to mold and cast the type. With this system, we will be able to create new books in a fraction of the time it takes now and make copies to send all over the world. Okay, so this man is basically he's looking for funding to create the world's first printing press. I think it was the Getty's printing press. I can't quite remember the name of the person, but the printing press, you know, it was a massive step forward in technology in history for, you know, rapid recreation of things. So The problem, though, is I don't think I've got the skills to pass the skill checks on this. Production and trade failed. I don't know much about factories or trade. Would that really be worthwhile? We are not interested. So we basically just, you know, let a golden goose fly out the door, which is not optimal. We'll attend court again just to really compound the mood, like I've been saying. So pressured, yielding, and depressed, we are at our, you know, maximum critical for that, and as a result, we're getting fairly heavy bonuses to animal handling and expression. So we'll do voice again, and we'll do falcons this time. Okay, week 9, morning, you learn about the different vocal ranges from the most profound bass to the rare cortula soprano. I'm certain that I said that wrong. And in the afternoon, you visit the Muse and learn about the different kinds of trainable birds, their preferred nesting sites, behavior, and food. Okay, so that's not too bad. Ooh, look. Brainian, Duke of Mare, Earl of Serentus. I don't care for trying to pronounce those names right. Your Highness, my sympathies for your loss. Even after all the years, I sometimes forget that my own mother will never come back. Thank you. However, I must call on your aid. The Ixionite occupation of the country of Imburin has gone on for too long. Now is the time to push back. Foreign affairs failed. I know there's been some problems with Ixion, but I don't know the details. I guess they're occupying southern Marie. Military success. We have plenty of troops, so it shouldn't be that hard to drive them out if we want to make a fight of it. So, we'll try to negotiate. We'll try to negotiate. There must be a peaceful way to settle this. I will send for diplomats from Ixion and try to come to an arrangement. Thank you, Your Highness. +1 yielding. Your Highness, if I may ask, that necklace you're wearing, where did it come from? It was a gift from the Duke of Senda. Then you have made arrangements with him. Okay, so court manners failed. What sort of arrangements? Your Highness, that is a courting gift. The man wishes to gain your hand in marriage. Oh, I didn't realize. So, well, isn't that fantastic? And you know what, guys? Even though I could continue going, I think that this is a good place to stop, primarily because this is a game that is very long. It's very, you know, clicky. There's just, it's basically a whole bunch of stuff that you do over and over again. And I think that I've pretty much more or less expressed what this game is and how I play it, and, you know, all the different types of outcomes that you can get. I know what I'm doing to a certain extent, but that being said, there are so many things that can happen. I don't foresee myself, you know, actually completing the game successfully anytime soon. So, this has been A Slice with Strife, everyone. Long live the Queen. I hope you guys enjoyed, but I will go ahead and see you guys next time. Bye!